betting man on this one. These two competitors can be unpredictable.
That's what makes this match so intriguing.
RKO!
Did that just happen? Got the full Nelson.
This might be it.
Oh, my.
Ziggler may be in trouble here. This could be the start of an ugly downward spiral if he's not careful.
He just has to make sure this doesn't get too out of hand for him. Sometimes momentum has a way of permanently swinging one way. That's what he wants to avoid here.
Oh! Before 2017's Extreme Rules, there were just 3 previous tag team matches where championship gold was decided inside a steel cage in the history of WWE special events. The Hardy Boys were in 2 of those matches. At Extreme Rules, in order to win the match, both members of a team had to exit the cage and have both feet on the floor.
The Hardys used their famous continuity to gain the early advantage until Cesaro and Sheamus utilized their devastating power to slow the pace of the match down. Both teams battled atop the steel cage, but in the end, Sheamus and Cesaro won the... I think this is the beginning of the end.
Big time slam. Vicious. Oh, it's over.
Harsh impact.
Escapes trouble there. Look at this. Guys, I can't help but be reminded of when Dolph Ziggler first arrived on the scene and introduced himself before every match. I think it's fair to say everybody knows who he might... Beautiful technique.
He's back in control here. Can Dolph Ziggler stay in after that?
Don't count the show off out yet. And it's Dolph Ziggler with the reversal.
As Michael alluded to, Dolph Ziggler has gone from introducing himself to making his...
Oh, to the body, that hurt.
The champ needs to hurry here. Can Dolph Ziggler stay in after that?
Don't count the show off out yet.
There's a certain feeling that comes over the combatants in a steel cage match once they hear the door close and see the official lock it. A superstar must know that their body is going to be thrown against the steel, that their face will most likely be raked across the cage, and that anything is legal in this environment.
This might be it.
Oh, my.
Ooh, what impact. You spoke about this earlier, Corey. It's crucial for a WWE superstar to fully understand the gravity of the situation they're in when they battle inside a 15-foot-high steel cage. An individual must be ready to endure pure brutality and be prepared for the fight of their life. No one leaves a steel cage match without scars.
Corey, you said something of value for once, and that anything is legal inside the steel cage. To that point, something else we've seen over the years is interference. Whether it's The Undertaker coming up through the ring or John Cena getting bashed in the head with the cage door from the outside.
Bang! Are you kidding me?
Now that's how you successfully defend your title. The best way to describe combatants clashing inside a steel cage is its battle of attrition. Sometimes a superstar is left with no choice but to fight fire with fire and do whatever they need to do in order to win the match. And sometimes it comes down to a superstar doing whatever they need to do in order to survive.
Byron, you touched on this earlier, but it's so important for a superstar to accept that there's nowhere to run and nowhere to hide in a steel cage match. That the conflict will be resolved within the 15-foot-high steel walls that surround the ring. And that losing a cage match can mean much more than a mark in the loss column. For some, it has meant the end of their career.
It's difficult to describe the damage that can be done to a superstar who competes in a steel cage match. We see the physical harm, but we don't see the psychological effects from being inside the cage. Make no mistake about it, Michael. The steel cage truly represents survival of the fittest.
The steel cage is a massive enclosure that stands 15 feet in height. For almost 35 years,
Oh, what a clothesline.
forcefully delivered. That's what he was looking for, Michael.
He's in trouble. Here we go a second time. Double underhook suplex.
Man, looked like the champ was down and out for a moment there, but not anymore.
Maybe no coming back from that slam, Cole.
To your point earlier, Byron, we've definitely seen some unbelievable attacks be launched from the top of the steel cage. And you mentioned the most iconic, the steel cage match for the Intercontinental Championship that saw Jimmy Superfly Snuka clash against bitter rival, the magnificent Morocco.
There's no denying that Superfly set the bar. You look over the years to people like Jeff and Matt Hardy, Eddie Guerrero, Kurt Angle, and Chris Jericho. They continued to push the envelope and executed unbelievable attacks.
The history books will have to wait another day.
Here is your winner, and still WWE Universal Champion, The Nightmare.
He may not appear that way, but that beaten and battered competitor standing tall inside that cage right now is your winner.
And talk about